This this is day 757, the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you like this sponsor, I'll come share or more of the Arukh HaShulchan, please contact me directly. It'd be greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Simon Tav Samach, Zayin again. It says Zayin to Chav Dalet. It says Zayin. Od the Ketainim, the Yevashim, dried figs, another Yevashim, dried grapes, according to raisins, Rosani, Gdolim Oktanim, whether they're large or small, Tluim B'Minam Koimus, depends on the places. Yesh Makin Shlo Ochlam, Yesh Makilim. Some people are making not to eat them. Why? I don't know. Perhaps we'll see. And some people are making. Therefore, here the machmir in the Baltic, not to eat any environments, not to eat any dry fruit. Unless they oh no, it's not the Arukh speaking. It's who is it? Ramah, right? Ramah saying that they didn't eat any dry fruit. Unless they knew they were drying away, which was not could not concern chametz. The Kaimoni Chazal Shaltemi Ufazim Kemach. So now we find out why. That the ancients wrote that on figs they used to scatter flour. For kol beishim they have an absolute sum in all dry fruit. How you know people dry them? Dried apples and pears. We see shim yapshin or some we see they dry them, but tanur in the oven. After they bake bread in the oven. That we don't eat any type of dried fruit on Pesach. Levad shizifin, besides plums, shekorin ploimin, shedushim we go to ribiyom, lisav shubnei asodos. So we know that since there's so many of them, they dry them into prunes. Although I've actually seen dried plums, which taste a lot better than prunes, on the face of the field. Nevertheless, evidently there was a special action for Pesach for them. Ushkedim mashblo klipos and almonds. I'm sorry, I'm going to feel mashblo klipos. Almonds, even if they don't have the shells. Ain't is not considered to be a dried fruit. Shem shabshu, so kind of and that's the way they are. And then don't dry them. Pomerantzin, the oranges, near that the good ones, it seems that it's okay. The aim is yabshim metanurim. I guess they some don't dry them in ovens, they dry them some other way. Lemons, I guess they're lemon peels opposed to orange peel. And those they dry in ovens. How do we know the difference between lemon peels and orange peels? That we can eat either one on Pesach. Of course, they all these things. If you have them, have them with hechsher. And the bracket says, even that which is baked in the oven after bread, mutter mishum not barnat. It's mutter because the taste of the bread gives a taste in the oven, gives a taste in the dried fruit. That's not barnat. No sintam by no sintam. Indirect and permissible. With Dvarim Tmuim, Arukh HaShulchan says it's astonishing. When you bake bread, there is flour present in the oven, which can be discerned by the naked eye. Also, because they put flour underneath the bread when they bake it. The disputes this smoke. Therefore, it's completely usher to use on Pesach something which is baked in an oven after bread is baked in it. Saffron. I feel as coin land saffron. Shem b'shum chashash, where there's no concern. Ein l'chlim imnei shel yoker mitzius. So ein became lafrish. Since it's so expensive, saffron is still very expensive. We don't know how to discern. I'm not sure exactly to discern what. Since it's so expensive, maybe we don't find that much, and therefore we don't know what would be dried with flour, what not. Not clear. V'chein neglach ein ochlim Pesach. I forget what neglach are, but some other spice. Avol pilplin, but peppers. Avshei sabshu in the dry emem chashash is no problem. Because where they're made in thousands and tens of thousands. There was no oven which can make the black pepper which we use. English of pepper Okay, pepper and chashash, no concern. But I know there's several years. I heard Sheshamani being embarrassed. We heard from Warsaw. Show that there's Zufim Bipilpalim Shei Yesh Bem Tzilzin Kemach. There's some fake pepper which has flour in it. Now came a Cheruba the Ruba Emem Zir, but since most of them are not fake, if you find generic pepper, you don't have to be concerned. Furthermore, the Malchus Manesh is Onish Kosham is the government punishes severely those who make false pepper. And with that, they're very similar to the Moshe said to Bechol Yisrael. Therefore, it's very unlikely that you have false black pepper by us, and therefore it would be okay. Bracket says here, going Avram Shan Kasav al Tabak Shemazav and Shorim B'Sheichor. The Mogen Avram writes to be careful about tobacco, which they infuse by spraying on it and soak it in beer. I don't know, for some reason there was no longer an issue. Yudches Zangvil, Shikoin Ingber, Simmering, ginger. Anu Achlim Pesach, we do it in business. We assume there's no issue. The Seftolin, should mean plum, it's a type of plum, have a preparation. It's a dried fruit. So you got my plumim revim, you call them shel Pesach. It was being special ones for Pesach. The Zoyer Zaltz, which sour salt is very often used as, actually not anymore, but it was used to be very often used as a substitute for vinegar on Pesach. There is no issue of chametz. It's a great favor to poor people that we permit this. They put this into their dish. Borekas. That's the main thing that poor people eat on Pesach. I think it's a borscht. They don't have the time to leave it in order that it should develop its acidic taste on its own. But when they put in the sour salt, usually the tam tov, I guess it feeds the process or imitates the process and gives it that special taste. Somebody wants to machmer not to use sour salt, that they should machmer for themselves. Soda, and it's bicarbonate of soda. Mutar b'peisam mushum chashash. It's no issue. The yadusha bab fabrikin shosim ha'osam. It's known in the factories that they make them has sour salt via soda. Yesh elukim yuchanim. They have special kelim which used for these products. Ve'em mushum chashash is no concern. Also, you can drink seltzer water without hechsher. There are lots of seltzers which have hechsher for Pesach. Not necessary, even though we feel better if they have hechsher. But they're not necessary. There's no concern for chametz. Limonada, lemonade. Sheyesh b'hem limonis, zucker, which have lemon and sugar. Shosim yuchon Pesach. When they make them special Pesach, like Einos Nimba es ha'ailik, Shokol HaShana. I don't know what ailik is, but evidently it's something which might have chametz in it. Which they put in the rest of the year. Acher she'ein bo chashash. They put in a different type which has no issue of chametz. Like I said, Nosnim tipa achas la'bei bakbukim and nasi koda Pesach. And this ailik they put in one drop in many barrels. I guess some sort of preservative. Many bottles, and it's made for Pesach, so it's batel. Because even there was any remote concern, finding his batel be'elef b'yoser, it was canceled by 1,000 and more. Yoser me'elef more than 1,000. It doesn't give the lemonade a texture. Especially according to which we have clarified. There's no concern of chametz. You want to be machmir yourself. Charuvin, shkoin boxer, carib. Kankin ochlim pesach. We eat them in pesach. Shem mechashash chimutz. We're not concerned about chametz. So pashut pesach beishim shaytzom biyapshim l'mutar mechil. In any event, any dried food which is dried by a Jew, obviously, wouldn't be a problem. Mishabur says, we're say even saffron, which grows in somebody's garden. You're careful that the shouldn't come in contact with chametz. Nevertheless, people don't use it because Marasayin. I wonder what's with the saffron. However, other fruit which is dried by Yisrael, we are not concerned. You test. Christina Bagmara. When it says Sorna Baran ain't Lusasim Sorna Pesach. You're not supposed to rinse barley on Pesach. If you did, the spackle source of the barley kernels cracked open, no good. No spackle toros, you didn't crack open it, it's okay. Mutoros. If you listen to Shor and Bechomach, it says soak them in vinegar. Chometz on sun, so sun and the vinegar seals them so they won't become chometz. It doesn't allow them to ferment. Amar Shmuel said, "And look, Rabbi Yossi and Pas Rabbi Yossi." Mine is there. This you learn that feeling spackle ain't about chometz gomor. Even if they do crack, they're still not complete chometz. Came out to us with chometz Rabbi Yossi, because otherwise, what's you could have using vinegar Rabbi Yossi? It's too late. Chempe Rashi explained in spackle in maros lachmitz. They crack, they become chometz quicker, but they're not yet chometz. Ein sham. And Kasava Ram, it's the same thing. Omer sham mar ova, Omer sham arm rukuloni spackle mamish. Not that they're literally cracked. They'll kol shilu menichan al pi chavetz. But anything which, if you put it on the top of a barrel, when you spackle a lamp, they will crack on their own. Shmuel is spackle mamish, and Shmuel said no, cracked means actually cracked until the point is no issue. But Shmuel over the nispaku mamish, and Shmuel evidently to pass in that way lamaisa ayin sham. Shmuel says that some say that it's not chametz until it cracks. Some say that if it's just bloated, it's already to the point that's close to cracking. It's also usher. Evidently, he doesn't render a decision. Okay, maybe we're going to see in the next sif what the decision is. When you render a decision, you test. But in the Chaf, maybe he renders a decision until Mishabura. Because of a Rif writes, "Came lives go hilchos abega," since we didn't halacha is not passing explicitly. Avinu chuma kvar bukva. We do chuma like marukva, and evidently the moment it gets somewhat bloated, the have a fake of the rice because somebody there has a chumah, so you can't use it. Bani means that's linyon mechlinu by honey sar now. Let's eat these barleys by themselves. I'm talking about bishula, but if you find them in a cooked dish, baku, and they didn't crack, came isu mashu b'rabban says ish of mashu, which one kernel in a large dish is only the rabban. Lo bishula, we don't answer that cooked dish to mishlach bay, which you found trevet plus 2 or 3 kernels of barley. Elin can spackle unless they're actually cracked open kishmol. So I have expected Rabbanon Kula because something in the Rabbanon, and it is because Batal Midraisa, and it's the Kula. Yeshua and Loch Shmuel. Some say Loch is like Shmuel anyway, then only in these Bakos also is Marukva Talmido, because Marukva's Machmira was his Talmud. For him, Loch is like a Rebbe. For David Shmuel Ovda, Luchule, and Shmuel actually followed his Psak, the Kula, Akan Lashonah. Chafaf, a Rambam Perak Din Ches, the Rambam writes in Perak Hey, Halacha Ches, she's the tavshil, she's bacha, v'nimsu bos orim, ochitim, if you have a cooked dish in which you found barley or wheat, im dispaku, if they cracked harei cooked tavshil usher, the entire cooked dish is also shrei zarba chavetz, because chametz got mixed into it. If you notice baku, they didn't crack, motzino, so you take them out, but sarfin, v'ochlin shara tavshil, burn them, and you eat the rest of the dish. Shehein adogan sheniv lau, the lonis bakeh chametz gomor, because the wheat which got mixed in, but didn't crack, it's not a complete chametz shel Torah. It's only the baruch chametz. Shamet says shmartem es hamatzos. Watch the matzos. Klomar meaning he's over matzos. Shmuel so because tzadchimus like on the show. Even the pre-chametz stage, the way the Rambam is explaining this pasuk, is an issue, right? You should be careful, but it's not awesome to be the rights of like regular chametz. Hakal shalom. Here's a place called Arukh HaShulchan. So he seems to, it says he thinks that Rambam is wearing like Arukh HaShulchan, that even just bloated. It's Rambam seeing the Marukva, but the Rabbanon is it. Because the Marukva asked that the Rabbanon. So in the brackets, you have for Lechem Mishnah B'Is Yosef. The Yeshmir should say that those who want to say, the Chalek, there's a distinction between Chitim and Sorim, between wheat and barley. Chitin after is baka of chametz gomer by wheat, even if it didn't crack, it's absolute chametz. B'sigal zeh, then chiluk. Others say there is no chiluk. And the Rambam says that wheat and barley are identical because of chitin masorah, because it says wheat or barley. He equated their halachos. Chabes, minei Rabbeinu says if that's because of Loshan Rambam, he writes like the Rambam, the lonely spako without shemut didn't crack. The cooked dish is permitted because as Rabbeinu Ramah writes, "Benamin hokain." That's not a minhag. Osu makol b'mashu. We ask the entire dish, even in the smallest kernel of grain, even if they haven't yet cracked. End quote. The reason we're machmir is based on two svaras in the Mordechai. Echad mipi minei davishish matirin. One's because it's davishish matirin, because we can mutter after Pesach. But Mordechai dochas, that's more dochas times. Mordechai repudiated this reason. Lo shar davishish matirin shemachom is kalkel. It's not trying to say it's davishish matirin. If by the time you get to eat it, it'll be ruined. Furthermore, besides that, it's going to come back to be an Isser next year. So it's never going to be mutter at the time you need it. Certainly, it's something which is only for taste. There is not going to be davishish matirin. That's one. So that reason is rejected. Second reason, we don't know what's called bloated just before it cracks. Kasav that, and the Mordechai wrote about this. That Shum Simchas Yontif make him Shum Simchas Yontif lo yifsid. Saying what's lean because the Simchas Yontif is contingent on this, they don't lose to be makel. So it's clear the Ramah doesn't say it as a din. They're not allowed to have this cooked dish with a few kernels of uncracked wheat or barley. Is that the minhag? The dish, the cover and obviously the pot, the cover of the pot, and the spoon with which it was served or mixed. Anything in which that cooked dish got mixed up. Mordechai himself writes this. There's a quote, because the minhag aser, even though it's a dubious thing, then it sounds like eating. Some people were matir, just not the Mordechai and the Ramah. But I feel if you minhag it's only if the girl got softened. If it didn't get soft, it's not anything. It's not a problem whatsoever. Ooh, a lot of Mr. Bruce says. Sharatzion says that if you mix with this spoon from or serve with the spoon from the pot to a plate, which is klisheni, you don't have to be machmer on what is in the klisheni, because even the Yatzalet's boat, since it's only a minhag, you don't have to be machmer. She writes that the Taz holds that the cooked dish is also even ba'noah, but the Chok Yaakov and other achronim agree that in place of Hefsing Ruba, you can be matir at least in hana. The Bir Halacha says the makel like the Chok Yaakov and achronim lo hifsi doesn't lose. Especially where it wasn't close to getting cracked it just got a little bit soft. So leniency. Mishumah writes that we don't distinguish whether it is close to being cracked or not. But nevertheless, the Chorim are on consensus that it has to be at least softened somewhat. And the Mishnah says that if it's not softened, even if it's in a hot mix, that's not a concern for us. Back to Arukh HaShulchan. If you find 3 kernels, which seems like it could be a chazaka, lami a chazaka sheisharbi. Don't say it's a chazaka that there's more. You can check. By a refill, merifush, clay, it's less, sorry, which says 2 or 3 kernels don't answer. You don't say this by worms, which come from elsewhere, that just because you find 3, you're going to find more. It's only about something which, I guess, can generate itself in the mixture. So to hear the grain comes from elsewhere. Even though those are arguers who wrote there. It's okay because you can check it. Brackets it says I'm going to see the base cook Yaakov Sivkot on Chafei. Mashkozim Ram Lama Lamina came in the Melech Naiche as the Chimutz. Why do we say since it's sitting in the pot without being worked, it becomes chametz? The Tiretz B'Doichak Magaram gives a difficult answer, and Shalom Leo's Daitinira says my answer is the B'Kedera Beis Habishu Afil Achar Bishu Beis Kol Achom Eno Naich. It's in a pot when it's being cooked, and even after it's cooked, when the heat is very great, it's Eno Naich. It doesn't. It's not at rest. because it's boiling, and therefore it's not. It's like as if it's being worked, and it's not going to become chametz. Chavdal ava benisbakeh, but if the kernel cracked, also medina, and it's also according to the letter of the law. Chaltavshil or cooked dish, bakli rishon, and the first vessel which it's cooked, vakara, and the plate sheir l'tola meklushon which you poured the kli rishon into. Vakafin was there, and the spoons went into the pot. Vakis in the cover, all also medina. Yesh makin gam kli sheni. Those also makin kli sheni, which kasav b'simatov mem zayins. But if it's the 7th day Pesach, you can wait until nightfall and eat the cooked dish. I guess is an Eretz Yisrael. No, even Chutz La'aretz. And just burn the kernel. I shouldn't burn on Yontif. Maybe after you put it away, after you burn it. Koshkin Bachon Shal Pesach. Because that's saying that on the last day of Pesach, that's certainly okay. If you buy any Yehudi l'kachtam mishir Shal Pesach, if a non-Jew comes to take this dish on the 7th day of Pesach, also because you can't protest against him because it may be also ran off you at the moment. Avo Bachon Shal Pesach, and last day of Pesach, yochalim chos biyodo, you can protest is taken away. B'ayim b'sif haba, as we, I guess, we'll see in the next sif when we do it. So if it's cracked, the Mishnah says it's also even b'hana. Mishnah says if some of this mixture, this cooked dish in which it was mixed in, got mixed in another cooked dish, the second cooked dish is also also. Mishnah says if you use the spoon with which you mix this pot in another pot, which while it's still boiling, I guess the second pot's still boiling, so also everything comes also. Shmuel says all the kalim which you use for this cooked dish, while it's still yatzal as well, also to use on Pesach. And is there any more Mishabur for this one? Yes. Some say the even Shvi Pesach, if you find a cracked wheat in the dish or inside a bird, then you put over them the keli. And Mokam Hefse Yeshli Smochazev, this is a case of significant loss, you can rely on this leniency. I think that's it.